Hi everybody and welcome to the last episode of the season of the Rubbin' is Racing Daily Fantasy NASCAR Show, brought to you by FantasyDonks.com, your one-stop shop for everything you need to know to start playing daily fantasy sports. I'm Sean Big Pop Williams.
I'm Jamie the Learjet Lear.
And it is our pleasure to be back with you, breaking down the final race of the season in the chase for the Ford EcoBoost 400 from Homestead-Miami, where we will see a champion crowned this week. It will be either Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, or Jeff Gordon. And before we get into the race breakdown, guys, I want to personally apologize for
both of us
for not having the show the last 2 weeks. Lear was busy moving into his new house. And I kind of went on tilt a little bit after Logano got wrecked by Kenseth. As Harry Hogg once said, if NASCAR won't call it low-down shit-ass racing, you better. Because what happened was when that wreck happened, it knocked me out of first place in the qualifier. And so Lear and I aren't broadcasting from Miami this weekend like we wanted to for you guys. But, you know, just to let you know, guys, it's a good lesson for all of us. Because no matter how much time or effort you put in, sometimes things don't break right.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
You go on tilt a little. And sometimes you need a couple weeks off. I just wanted to apologize to you guys. You guys put in the time watching our show and supporting us. And it wasn't right of us to do that without letting you guys know. And so I will give you our word that we will do our best to never let that happen again. And I hope you all understand. And thanks again for watching. But with that said, it's time to get into the race action this week.
Let's do it,
for
baby.
Homestead. Lear, give us that track breakdown and tell us, since we only get to see this track once a year.
All right, brother. So basically, Ford EcoBoost 400 from Homestead in Miami Speedway, obviously located in Miami, Florida. So we wrap up the 2015 campaign with the most common track that is on the NASCAR Sprint Cup circuit, which is the 1.5-mile track. Same thing that we have here in Kansas City. It will take 267 laps to get this bad boy wrapped up. It's an oval track. It's 55 feet wide with multiple grooves. Sometimes even, especially on the starts, they'll be going 3 wide. The banking here is 18 to 20 degrees in the turns. It's also known as what they call progressive banking. But for NASCAR lineups this week, you're going to want to get guys that obviously are up front, the lead laps. Fastest laps are important as well. But also, too, with this type of racing with less laps, you know, you're going to want the guys, too, that are going to be good place differential guys. They play a key into taking home that GPP this week. So, but the race is tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, November 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC, regular NBC. So you people that don't have cable or use the HD boxes, you'll be able to watch this race tomorrow. You're not busy watching football.
Finally a network broadcast, right?
Pretty awesome. And then the weather is going to be 81 degrees. Thunderstorms are definitely going to be prevalent with 90% chance of precipitation. And the wind will be southwest at 14 miles an hour. So no matter what happens in this race, I don't know if it's going to be one of those where they end it early. But, you know, obviously with it being the last race of the Sprint Cup Championship, regardless of what happens, this race will be completed at 267 laps, if that even means that we have to move into, you know, Monday to get it done. But they will do that. So there's just too much riding on the line for them not to. So. Yeah,
you know, we never like to see rain as NASCAR fans, but it is a reality, unfortunately, when you play sport outdoors. And, you know, there's not really any adjustments you can make to it lineup-wise. You just have to be aware of it. There's a possibility that you might want to front stack the field a little bit more. But I didn't really go with that approach this week, and from what I've seen, I don't think you really go with that approach either. We're just banking that NASCAR will figure a way to get all these laps in for the championship. And we're banking on that for our lineups. With that said, though, it's time to burn some rubber.
Burning rubber, baby!
And my first burning rubber pick, guys, it's the last show of the season. It wouldn't be the burning rubber segment, and it wouldn't be the Rubbin' is Racing finale if I wasn't talking about the Rainbow Warrior, the great Jeff Gordon. This is the best narrative ever that we've ever seen in NASCAR, maybe even in sports history. In his final season, he's not looking terrible like Peyton Manning. He's actually amazing, and he's been a thoroughbred all year long, just like his career, and he's now down to the final 4. I'm convinced he's going to do this. And dude, he's just been a mainstay on all my lineups this year, and only letting me down once when they had the pit malfunction. Twice, a pit malfunction and a gas can issue. But, you know, I just love this guy, and it's sad for me to see Jeff Gordon hanging it up this year, but I think he's going to do it with the trophy. He qualified 5th, and like Harry Hogg said, I believe it in my heart. And pretty much that's what I'm going with this week, guys. Go with the gut, dude. Gordon has a decent track history here, but more than anything, I think he wants to win and finish it right.
Yeah.
And
he's not the only one. There's other drivers out there, too, that obviously want to see that happen.
Right. And, you know, like, too oftentimes in sports, we don't get the chance to have our heroes ascend to that level in their retirement year.
Yeah.
And
most times they, regardless of sport, they do not go out with the bang. It's most times you got to drag them off the field. Hence, like Peyton Manning this year. Most times they don't know when to call it quits.
And so I just think that Jeff Gordon's going to get it done. And I think if you don't have him on your lineup, even if for some reason he doesn't win, he's going to finish top 5, and you just need him on your lineup.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not like he's at a crazy, over 10K price point. He's at 9,700.
Yeah, like, so that's what I'm rolling with. So, Lear, who's your first guy to burn some rubber this week?
Love the pick. I have him on my team too, but I'll tell you guys more about that later.
Nice.
So my first burning rubber guy, we're going to stick with the guys hanging out for the championship. I'm going to roll with Kevin Harvick in the number 4. Obviously he's the most expensive guy at $11,400, and we all know too he's in the hunt for his 2nd consecutive Sprint Cup championship. Obviously last year he clinched it. Last year when he won here at the EcoBoost 400 at Miami in 2014, but he is completely capable of leading laps, having fastest laps, and obviously winning the race. He qualified in the 13th position this week. In his last 4 races here at Miami, he started 21st, 23rd, 6th, and 5th with finishes of 8th, 8th, 10th, and then last year, obviously, 1st. That's an average starting position of 13.75 and an average finish of 6.75. So this guy obviously gets it done here at Miami. In a total of 14 overall races, he has 6 top 5 finishes. So that's almost clipping a 50% percentage there. So obviously he's going to also, too, with starting 13th, he's going to accumulate some of those place differential points as well for sure. So, he's the most expensive driver, but he's definitely going to pay off with not only all 3 of those metrics with, fastest laps, laps led, and place differential. He should be at least a 100-point guy this week, I would hope.
I'm actually steering away from him this week, but it's only because of salary. When you look at it, you essentially have a choice. Is the way it broke down for me is that you can choose either Harvick or Kyle Busch or Jimmy Johnson or Joey Logano or Kenseth, and you have to choose one of them. I went another route, which transitions me well into my second burner rubber pick, which is Kyle Busch. Guys, Rowdy once again is on that crispy edge in that M&M's crispy car. And I just you guys know I'm all about the narrative, and I want to talk about this narrative again. How cool is his narrative? The guy is with his back against the wall after breaking his leg in a horrific accident that he was lucky to just come out with a broken leg from when he smashed that infield barrier. He was lucky to get out of that. But then the guy misses almost half a season trying to get healthy so he can get back behind the wheel of the car. Has to win X amount of races to get into the chase, gets into the chase, then has to make it all the way through the chase stumbling blocks, and is now part of the Final Four. I'm going to go with another Harry Hogg quote here. Rowdy's going to give you a real ass ripping this week if you leave him off of your lineups. I truly believe in Rowdy, and he's got a nice price tag this week. And while we were filming this race, he's currently been battling 1st and 2nd in the Xfinity Series.
Right.
And at $10,600, it allowed me to save a little bit more and get better mid-tier drivers. That's why I jumped down off of Harvick. But I totally understand why you're on Harvick, and it makes complete sense. You just have to make the choice, and I chose to turn the other direction. So
yeah, as far as Kyle Busch, I mean, obviously he's got good history here at Miami, but with him, I could totally see with him not being in the contention for the Sprint Cup that he would love nothing more than to take this bad boy home and just stick it to everybody else. that's racing tomorrow. So, but for me, like you said, it comes down to a choice. I just decided to spend that extra $600 and go up for Harvick. Because I believe that he's going to really push the envelope tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, it's like in NASCAR, we've learned it's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other, right?
Yeah.
Like, you've got to take your stand somewhere, and we're always going to differ when the lineups don't allow us to have all the main guys. So,
but my second burning rubber guy is Martin Truex Jr., who's also in contention for the Sprint Cup Championship. He's only $9,600, so. Basically, same price as Gordon. He's if he wins, he will have basically defy the odds of being the only guy representing a one-man team. When obviously all these other teams consist of 4 and 5 drivers, he is a one-man team, and his odds of winning the Sprint Cup Championship at the beginning of the year were 200 to 1. Wish I could have went to Vegas and put some money on that.
How much fun would that sweat be right now? 200 to 1.
But basically, Truex starts in the 11th position. In his last 4 races, he started 2nd, 7th, 8th, and 10th with his finishes of 3rd, 6th, 4th, and 17th. So he's got some good results there. I like him this week to be super, super aggressive. He has been performing really good at these 1.5-mile tracks over the whole entire 2015 campaign. And his cost also allows me to be more flexible in my lineup as well. Now, I know that he's a really, 9,600 is not, something to sniff at, but it also allows me to, move up a little bit on my lower tier guys as far as price points. So, I just like the fact that he's going to, be contending for that championship, and he's going to be wanting to get up in the front. So, and he already starts, in the 11th spot, so at least he's, semi up there. So, that's why I definitely like Martin Truex Jr. this week, and I hope you guys do too.
Yeah, I love the Truex Jr. play, and you'll see a little bit he's on my lineup. And I realize, guys, that you may think we're cheating out by giving you all 4 of the guys that are racing for the championship this week, but I don't think we are, and I think that you're going to have 3 of the 4 of them on your lineup to win this week. In all honesty, those 4 guys are just going to run really good this week. With that said, it's time for my personal favorite segment, Who's Going to the Garage. Now remember, on the Going to the Garage segment, it's not like we're trying to look into a crystal ball and predict that somebody's going to actually have engine malfunction and go to the garage or wreck. But it could be also that we just don't like this driver for price, we don't like this driver for the track history, whatever reason, we don't like this driver and we think you shouldn't have him on your lineup. My Going to the Garage guy this week is Matt Kenseth. Like, look, bro, you cost me a seat to Miami. I despise you. I despise what you stand for. I despise the way you race. You are pure evil. No, I'm just messing with you, man. I get it. It's a race. But seriously, man, you cost me a seat to Miami.
Yeah.
The truth is, I can't pick him this week, and I'm not sure I'll ever be able to pick him again after that.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you've earned me a permanent spot on my root against you for all eternity. And what really pains me, dude, is you guys have seen how much I'm on Team JGR this year. I love the Team JGR, but man, that one hurt, bro. That one hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So with that, and guys, if I'm being outside of the silliness, he's just too expensive for what he is at this racetrack. And the fact that he's out of the chase and pouting, and the fact that he hasn't been behind the wheel for 2 weeks.
Right.
Like,
off suspension.
Yeah. I would never pay up for a guy that is coming off suspension that hasn't been running really well. But
in all reality, too, he doesn't really have anything to race for.
Right, exactly. With that said, Lear, who's your Going to the Garage pick?
So my Going to the Garage this week is Matt Kenseth.
So you're a little bitter that I couldn't take you to Miami with.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right.
Kenseth, at the 10,200 price point, starting 19th. He's raced here 15 times. He's got an average start of 16.7 and an average finish of 15.8, so nothing stellar there. Kenseth is coming off, obviously, his suspension, and since he's completely out of it, he's just going to be logging laps and hoping to play spoiler to someone this week as well. His price tag is just way too high for what he will produce, and I can't spend that much money of my salary on basically a question mark. Plus, he cost me a ticket to Miami with Papa. So a big F you to Kenseth, and enjoy your off season, you prick.
Nah, Yeah, no, this is coming from people that are fans of JGR races.
Yes, like we were all over JGR all season long.
Yeah.
Kenseth was in and out of our burn and rubber pick, but I'm sorry, sir, but you have earned yourself a place of
on the NASCAR Wall of Shame,
yes,
in my opinion.
Correct.
Well, that's it, guys. We're going to do the lineups, and this week we want to tell you that we're doing a little something special. Since we did 2 weeks off, we are actually going to be entering 3 contests this week. And the 3 contests we're in, we're just going to give you the one lineup that we're rolling with. But the 3 contests we are entering this week is the 100K slingshot, the $3. We encourage you all to join in with us. It's the last race of the season. You got 3 months off.
Why not?
The $27 victory lane for $30,000 prize pool. And then the normal lug nut, our staple, for it is $7K again this week, so we went back down a little on that one.
Now I know that one is $27 for your one entry, but you're only looking at a 1,200 person field, so your odds are, it's basically buying a lottery ticket. But if you've been watching the shows, if you've been playing NASCAR Fantasy Daily all year long with us since it came to inception on DraftKings, you obviously are skilled. You know what you're doing. And best of luck to you, and I hope you. Take it down. Of course, I hope we take it down, but you get second or third or whatever. It's one of those where, why not? It's the last one of the year. I say throw all your marbles in there and see what comes out. So.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. And like I said, $35 to put a team in those 3 contests. You can walk away with a few grand and have a really good end of the season.
Yeah.
Might as well. Worst case scenario, you're at $35.
Sure.
As long as you have it to spend it. All right, but we are the only site in existence that does actual lineups that we enter into contests. Those are the contests that we've gotten rolling in, and we give you our complete lineups. I'll start off with mine, and it's Jeff Gordon at 9,700, followed by Kyle Busch at 10,600, and Martin Truex Jr. Like I said earlier, I really think it's going to take 3 of the guys going for the chase in your lineup. I see Lear has 3 as well. He just went a little different than me.
Yeah.
I back that up with Ty Dillon at 7,000. Look, Little Dylan has finished better than he started in each of his last 5 races, and he scored more fantasy points in each race than the previous one. For a guy that's 7K, I love that, especially considering the last few, it was 30 to 35 to 40 to 45. That's a guy that when you're backing it up with super elite talent that will get you there to win you a GPP.
Yeah, definitely.
I then back him up with Bane at 6K. Yeah, boys, I'm still on the Bane train. Bane, you have made me an amazing thing. I want you to finish this season strong. And to be honest, man, you've been fantasy NASCAR gold. And if you don't have him on your lineups in a lot of weeks, it's punished you. And so thank you, Bane, for everything you've done for us. And I'm encouraging you guys to stay on the Bane train this week.
And the thing, too, about him is he's always kind of been a min value kind of guy that always produces fairly well. I mean, he's at least going to guarantee you the 20 to 25 points, depending on where he qualifies at. But, he's one of those, young but old kind of veteran kind of guys. He's been on the circuit for a while now. But when it comes to him, it's just going to be, where can he get from where he starts and where he qualifies to where he ends up? Because his chances or his opportunities to win the race, I mean, let's be honest, they're pretty minimal. But he could always be a great place differential guy. So.
Yes, and that's when we've seen him pay off this season.
Yeah,
it's been for place differential, and it's been amazing because, I mean, dude, he should not be priced as low as what he is ever. And for some reason, NASCAR just consistently prices him low.
Right.
I just have no idea why DraftKings seems to not have respect for the Bane train. But I'll take advantage of it and make me money off the Bane train every day.
That's also, too, for our boy Adrian Woodruff.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Shout out to you, bro. And my last pick to round out my 6th is Eric Amarola at 6,700. This guy has been a must-own to take down several GPPs this year with some huge performances coming from the back of the field, front, and then when he was qualifying at the front of the field, staying at the front of the field, leading laps, being the fastest lap car. This guy gets you a little bit of everything, and he's significantly underpriced. And you know what? He's another guy that just keeps improving at race in and race out. And I just love guys that seem to get better every race. Right. And this guy's got a great future in NASCAR, and I'm excited, and I think he's going to win me some money this week on my lineup.
Yeah, Richard Petty Racing, too, better be watching it because, he might get vultured from some other bigger race team. But, definitely Eric Amarola has some talent. He's been getting better and better year after year consistently. And I definitely like to play, especially too, he's only $6,700. He has been a little bit cheaper throughout the earlier parts of the year. But he's definitely paid off 40, 45 points. When you're getting that from a guy that costs you that minimum amount of money, I mean, it's definitely a free square right there.
Right.
So.
You know how we feel about free squares.
Yeah.
Just take them.
But,
so what's your lineup look like, brother?
My lineup is actually pretty similar to your lineup.
Really?
Little bit of change here and there, but rolling out with Kevin Harvick at the 11,400. My second driver is Martin Truex. My two burning rubber guys at 9,600. So basically, between two drivers right there, I've got 21,000 of my 50,000 wrapped up.
Yeah.
Then I go next with Landon Castle. Castle's basically my pump play this week. He's my lowest cost driver that I have. He's only $5,600. He's got a nice starting position at 34th out of 43. His average finish this year is 30th, so he definitely has some opportunity to move up there as far as get up as far as place differential. And I'm just basically hoping and praying that he gets 15 to 20 points for me to pull off his part of the team. And he likes these 1.5 mile tracks. So basically all I need to do is have Landon Castle finish the race in like 29th position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if the rest of your lineup's built right.
My next guy, I'm also with you as well on the Ty Dillon play. Dillon is racing his 5th Sprint Cup race of the 2015 campaign. Every time this young guy's gone out there, he's performed very well. His average finish this year is 21.5, and he starts this week in the 25th position. His average fantasy points this year is 26.5, so he will have to get basically about 40 points or so to pay off his price tag, because he's a little bit expensive at $7,000. But I definitely foresee he can reach that pretty easily. But I look for him to basically hit right about that 40 spot. And that's why, I'm playing him, because I hope he pays off up to that price point.
Oh, yeah.
And then my 5th driver, I'm rolling with David Reagan. I'm not really a David Reagan fan, but he's $6,300, so he's at a decent price point this week. He's on a quality racing team, as far as getting equipment. But he had a horrible qualifying run, and will start the race in the 38th position. So if you can get any quality guy with a name that has a really horrible qualifying position, I'm going to be all over that all the time. Example, Ryan Newman, that one race where he started 43rd. I mean, he was definitely a play that you had to have to take on the GPP that week. So, but his average finish this year is 24.2. So I'm hoping that he can finish somewhere around his average, in the early 20s there, from a 38th position from qualifying. I'm going to be in on that all day long.
That's a lot of points.
And then last but not least, I too am with Big Papa this week in rolling Jeff Gordon on my team to wrap it up. $9,700. This will be the last race of the illustrious career of Mr. Jeff Gordon. He has a chance to win the 2015 Sprint Cup Championship in his following year. And to be honest, we both have liked Gordon here and there. Mostly Papa liking him every single week.
Not every single week,
but pretty much.
Yeah.
And Destiny has set up nicely for Jeff to ride off in the NASCAR Hall of Fame sunset with a championship. I mean, you can't write this script, people. There have been times in his career that I've kind of not liked him because some of the BS he used to pull when he was younger in his battles with Earnhardt Sr. And all those years. Played a factor into me not liking him at some points, but Gordon has been racing for 22 years. You have to tip your cap to somebody that consistently can do that year in and year out for 22 years racing a NASCAR car. Staying with the same racing team, Hendrick Motorsports, for his whole career. That doesn't happen anymore with the free agency part of NASCAR. But congrats to you, Mr. Gordon. No matter how tomorrow's Ford EcoBoost 400 turns out, you'll go down as a legend, obviously.
Absolutely.
In his career at Miami, he's got an average starting position of 15.5, an average finish of 10.6. So, he's obviously got some good history here at Miami. He's starting in the 5th position, as we've discussed. He should lead some laps, have some fastest laps, and should be in the front of the pack until it comes down to the checkered flag. But I even believe some of the other drivers, if he's up towards the front there, and we're not talking about like with Kevin Harvick or Truex or anybody else up there in the front that has anything to do with the Sprint Cup Championship, some of these other drivers are going to be rooting for Jeff Gordon to win this race and take down the championship on his exit out of NASCAR. So I wouldn't be shocked if you see any of these guys assist with Gordon in helping him win the race.
Oh yeah, you and I were talking about it earlier, dude. It's just as cool of a narrative is. Like I'm not sure that even other guys' teammates wouldn't be vying to be the guy that
not even for the same race.
Right, yeah. Help Jeff Gordon win the championship like by pushing him past the guy. Like I mean, that'd just be really cool to do. And yeah, I mean, I would do it if I was a driver. I'd try to help him get his win, lock him down, especially if I was out.
You couldn't write a better book or a better story, with him going out on top with the championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's the narrative we've been talking about all season. Yeah. It's partly why I've been on Jeff Gordon, man. Like when you have a narrative like that, you're due for wins, you're due for great performances, and we've just seen him be a fantasy goldmine. And it's been a great 22 years watching you race, Jeff, and wanted to thank you. From all
Thank you,
NASCAR.
sir. Tip my cap to you.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely, man. All of NASCAR thanks you for your racing, man. You've been a great driver.
Great ambassador, too, for the sport.
Yeah, absolutely. We've all enjoyed watching you race, and it's going to be sad seeing this chapter end.
Yeah.
But with that said, it's the chapters ending on this show for this season as well. We will be back with the Daytona 500 as long as DraftKings still has NASCAR. And we're looking forward to it, but we're actually looking forward to this break a little bit as well.
Yeah, but be good to see you guys back in 2016. If you want to check out some of the videos that we've done throughout the year, feel free, help yourself. Also, make sure you check out fantasydonks.com for all your information on all daily fantasy sports. But it's been a pleasure, man.
Dude, I've enjoyed this thoroughly. And guys, don't forget, if you're not getting your daily fantasy fix with NASCAR being out, we do the Ultimate Fantasy Football 3-way with me, Lear, and Murr, and it's a lot of fun, a real in-depth analysis show of each week's plays. That's available for you to view, and we'll continue doing that throughout the NFL season and possibly even into the first couple of weeks of the playoffs.
Definitely.
So with that said, guys, thank you for tuning in. It has been our pleasure. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for spending your time watching our video. And any comments that you have or suggestions for next season, we would love to hear them. Remember to like, share, favorite, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Lear's finally got me trained into remembering that one. It only took all of NASCAR season to get there. But and with that, guys, thank you again. We love y'all and have a good one. And let's win some money this week.
Have a great weekend, everybody, and happy holidays to you and your family.
Yeah, happy holidays, guys.